Hi there, it's Carrie from Stamp with CT. Happy Wednesday. Happy Facebook Live Day. Happy November. It's already the 5th of November, y'all. So, just all the happy things. Excited to be with you today. I missed you last week. Like I said, this is Carrie from Stamp with CT. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Texas, in case you can't tell from that accent, right? And I love spending a little time with you on Facebook Live on Wednesday afternoons. Just a way to connect with you, craft with you for just a few minutes. Adjust that just a tiny bit. And hopefully inspire you to pull out some of your supplies and create. That really is one of my main whys. Why I'm a demonstrator, why I do the classes and events that I do, that we do actually. Dale is right beside me on all of this. He is my crafty husband and my supporting demonstrator. And then lovely assistant Cheryl helps us out an awful lot as well. So if you're catching this part of the video, hopefully some friends are able to jump in live, but if you're watching the replay, super happy to have you here. Either way, love having you with me. And just ask if, as you come into the live video, if you will go ahead and send up a heart or hit that thumbs up. Really helps me in the algorithms of Facebook, and then if you're watching on YouTube, same thing. If you give it a thumbs up, I appreciate that. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, or if you're not following my Facebook page, you can do that as well. I do appreciate that so much. We have had so much growth in the last 6-7 months, and we're just really excited. So thank y'all so much. You help us so much. And you really allow us to get to do what we love to do. So today, I am using some beautiful paper, and I just realized I'm not sure where I set the package, and I'm not exactly sure of the name of it. Just one moment. I know it is beautiful pine paper. And it's an online exclusive. It's the Elegant Pines Designer Series paper. And I'll tell you, way back in, when was that? September, 2 months ago. Oh, I'm making a big mess, y'all. Dropping paper. But way back a couple months ago, when the new catalog and the new online exclusives launched, we had a launch party for the new products, and we also had something called an after party. And so if you're not familiar with that, we've done this for several years now, but Dale and I host an after party. It's basically just more time to jump in, take a look at the new products, but it's kind of a different type of event. We usually do some projects that are a little bit more stepped up. We also discuss a topic like this past time, because there are snowflakes in the paper. We talked about how different snowflakes are and how different we all are, and just uniqueness, and how important that is in our lives and in our crafting. So there's generally some type of topic that we talk about. Dale and I do a presentation. We play something called Twisted Bingo, and it's for a package of bling. Everyone wins a package of bling, and it's just so much fun. So with the new mini catalog coming in January, just want to kind of put that on your radar, because we really have a blast with that event. Usually about a dozen people join us for that. It's on Zoom, so anyone can take part in that. If you live in the US, we would love to include you, but it's really fun. So that was paper that we featured, this whole suite actually, we featured in the after party. So it's been a little while since I've pulled this out and played with some of the products. I don't have all 6 patterns of the paper. I've got about 4 3/4. One of the sheets is cut into, one is completely gone. Apparently that was my favorite. But anyway, I'll show you what I have, and we're going to make a quick project, and I think a really pretty project. So let's take a look at some of the components in this suite that we're going to be creating with today. And like I said, don't forget about the after party and our launch party for those that are local to us here in Texas. So this is a shaded spruce ribbon with some gold trim. Going to bring that up close so you can really see how beautiful that is. It is a nice wide ribbon, but we're going to make a little bow with this today. So fingers crossed all that works out. These are some beautiful, I think they're called faceted snowflakes. But as so many have said, they look like stars as well. Look at the shine on those, and you've got several different colors. How fun are they? Why do I have so many left on this package? What is going on? I need to be using these more often because they are stunning. And then we have this beautiful stamp die bundle. Now, I think when we did the after party, we made 2 each of 3 designs of projects, and one had a huge snowflake. So there's kind of a snowflake builder going on here where you've got, we were calling them snowflake arms that you cut and then you layer them up. Cheryl cut snowflake arms for hours and hours. So we really have used these dies a good bit, and then the stamp set is quite lovely as well. So you've got those little boughs, boughs of foliage there. So pretty, so pretty. All those pine boughs, and it does coordinate with your stamp set. I think that some of the dies coordinate with the DSP as well. Like I said, been a little bit since I pulled this out, but really a pretty set. As we look at this paper, you'll notice that you've got a lot of different greens. We've got Pretty Peacock, Shaded Spruce. Let me stop and think. Old Olive, Garden Green, Secret Sea, and then you've got some Cherry Cobbler in there. This is that piece that I've already cut into. Isn't that lovely? And I know, remembering back, one of the things that we talked about, and Dale brought this up when we were working with this paper in the after party. Let me see if I can find a piece that has like the green snowflakes. What's cool is in nature, of course, the snowflakes are white like you see here, and then the background is green like when you're looking at the trees and that type thing. But some of this paper is kind of the opposite. That may be the piece that we used all of, because a lot of this has the snowflakes as being white. Excuse me. But it's just so lovely. Such a beautiful paper. And there's your B-side for you. But I just thought that was very interesting to use the greens. Typically, I would think of white and blue with snowflakes. And although, like Pretty Peacock, Secret Sea, they can kind of go both ways as a blue. But just beautiful paper. So that's what we're going to use today. I think what we'll do is do our stamping first. I don't have like a prototype to share with you. We're just going to jump straight into our stamping. And I do have a piercing mat, and I also have a silicone craft sheet because I'm going to be stamping around the edge of a piece in just a moment. So I want to make sure I don't get my piercing mat dirty. I really don't mind doing that and wiping it off, but Dale likes it better if I use a piercing, if I use a silicone craft sheet, which really probably is the best thing to do, isn't it? So we're going to ink up with Shaded Spruce this sentiment. Let's see if I can tell which way I'm going here. And I may have to bring it to me a little bit to be able to stamp it. But we'll give it a try. Just on a little 1/2-inch strip. I just took a deep breath, kind of a little bit of a sigh, and I moved that sentiment strip, y'all. Hold my breath and stamp, huh? I do have one stamped just in case. I can't really get it straight with my equipment up above, but we'll give it a try. So of course this is just a little 1/2 inch strip. I didn't do too bad. This is just a little 1/2 inch strip, and these strips I hold onto. If you know me, you know that I like to hold onto those when I cut my inside panels down to 5 1/4 by 4 on my basic white. And then I just put them in a little jar, and when I need a little strip sentiment like that, so much easier to use those than to try to cut a piece of paper into 1/2 inch strips. Use what I have, right? So now I've got this little pine bough, and I've got a piece of scrap over here that I've been stamping on. I'm going to stamp off and then just kind of bring this onto the edges of the paper. I just want a little bit of an image. So stamping off so that I get my 2nd generation, and I may even move this around to where it's a little bit different. And I think that I'm stamping this light enough, because this is going to be the inside of the card. I think I'm stamping it light enough that I could even write over it if I need the room to write. So 3rd generation there. So bringing it over, stamping it off once. Let's turn it back this way. So just adding some detail. And I could even stamp this on the envelope as well to really make it cohesive. And it just gives it a really lovely border. So I think that will show up and show how pretty that is. I could also come in with a sponge dauber and kind of, you know, daub those edges. Let me get this stamp out of the way and put it on my chamois so I don't have a mess. I've closed up my ink pad. Doing good, y'all. And then I can just wipe this silicone craft sheet. If you're not familiar with these, we have several in our craft room, and we like to put them out during stamp class as well. Adhesive does not stick to this silicone craft sheet, so a lot of times you'll see Dale will put a little bit of adhesive dip, like word sentiments that are die cut out in to adhere them to projects. You can apply your adhesive to your piece while you're on this pad. That way if you go over the edge a little bit, then it doesn't matter because it protects your work surface, and then it just dries. That adhesive dries, you can just rub it right off or take it over to the sink, either way. Okay, so now we've got our inside panel. We've got our sentiment, which I have to say looks pretty darn good, y'all. So we're gonna go with that. We have got a base of shaded spruce cardstock that is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, so just 1/4 of a sheet of cardstock, shaded spruce. Then I have a cherry cobbler layer, and this is 5 1/4 by 4 inches cardstock, and it has been embossed with the Forever Plaid embossing folder. Now this one, I know many of you have it. It's been around for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years. Love this folder. It is absolutely beautiful. And part of the reason I wanted to use the folder was to give the texture, and hopefully that will show up on camera. I think it will. But it gives texture and more interest to my card base, but it also is going to give a little bit more structure, because this just being a single layer of cardstock, it could use a little boost there. So that's what we're using this piece to add some color, pulling those colors from our DSP that we're going to be using, and then also it gives it a little bit more structure. Little bit, oops, try not to get glue everywhere. So it's just got that 1/8 inch border all the way around. Give me just a second to kind of make sure I get it lined up. I love using liquid glue, and I will say that's one of probably the most common comments we get on our videos and reels is, what type of glue are we using? And are we using enough? Because as many of you know, we use the dot dot not a lot method. So you saw me put dots in the corners, squiggle in the middle. I had the sides open, so hopefully I won't get glue on my fingers. Learned that from our sweet friend Mary many years ago now. And this is a super strong adhesive, and yes, that's plenty of glue. And we'll let that dry for just a minute, and we'll go on working on our project. So now I have some other pieces. This is actually going to be a flap card. Now you can have the flap come over and be a side flap. Like you can actually justify it all the way over to the side, and you could do that on either side if you want to. You can center it up, or you can just kind of offset it a bit and put it wherever you want it. And that's what we're going to do today. So this piece of shaded spruce is 8.5 by 3 inches, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. So let's burnish that. That laying down really good. And then I've got a piece of cherry cobbler cardstock that is 4 inches by 2 3/4 that's going to just layer right on front of there. And then a piece of the gorgeous Designer Series paper that is 3 3/4 by 2 1/2. And so we're going to layer that up. And then that's the same size as this piece that's going to be inside that we're going to write on. So we'll go ahead and adhere our DSP and get our cardstock flap put together. That DSP lovely. And I really could have gone with pretty much any of the greens, I think. I think all of the greens are kind of represented, but I knew I had the shaded spruce ribbon, and it is phenomenal. It is just so lovely. I think my glue is dry enough that I can move forward, hopefully. And we'll layer this onto the front of our flat panel. I did want to remind you, like as the glue's drying and I'm just trying to get my borders and everything here, we do have Finally Friday free online class this Friday at 5 o'clock, which is the 7th of November. And we're going to be using the Modern Christmas suite of products. Oop, I got a little bit of glue, a little bit too much glue right there. Wipe some of that away. That will dry clear. We'll just let it dry for just a minute because I went a little bit too crazy, didn't I? Anyway, we are doing Finally Friday free online class. It is a Facebook Live right here on my Stamp with CT page, and it's at 5 p.m. Central Time. So if you can join us live, that's great. Otherwise, be sure to hop back and watch the replay. We're going to be making 6 cards, or that's what's part of the packet if you do get the kit. But we will be making gift card holders, and I have 3 different designs, 2 each of the 3 designs with the Modern Christmas Designer Series paper. You're going to love it. Really, the Modern Christmas Suite collection. And then I wanted to tell you that we're doing something called Attitude of Gratitude class, and that's going to be each Friday, the other 3 Fridays in November. Dale and I at 5 p.m. on Friday will pop on just for a short little class. We've got some really fun holiday type projects that we want to share with you. Now I'm going to use liquid glue. You could also use tear and tape if you wanted to. For this part, I'm going to use a little more than I normally do because this is a mechanism for this card. So you don't usually see us use that much glue, but trust me, I need it this time. So anyway, we're going to be doing Attitude of Gratitude through November. And it's just really an appreciation type thing. It's a free online class, just like our Finally Fridays, just not to the same extent of time. It'll probably only take about 30 minutes to do our Attitude of Gratitude projects. And I think you'll really like them. We have some fun stuff planned for y'all. We just want to say thanks for all of the support that you give us. And it's just fun giving at the holidays, isn't it? Oh, I probably could have put this in before I glued that down, but that's okay. Would have probably made it just slightly easier to do that. But I can still get it done. So it doesn't really matter which end is up. Just kind of line that up in there. So like I said, that will be my part that I actually write my message on. And it feels like that needs to shift up a tiny bit. Again, one of the reasons I love using liquid glue is it gives me a little bit of time, get back here, to adjust things. Okay, isn't that cute? Just having that little bit of stamping on the inside there. Love it. Now we're going to bring our sentiment in. And remember, this was 1/2 inch wide, so I have a 3/4 inch wide piece of cherry cobbler cardstock, really just kind of a scrap, about 4 inches long, and then this piece was about 3 3/4. So we'll go ahead and layer that up. And again, just try to get my borders evened up all the way around. Last week we were in Colorado, so that's why I missed you on Facebook Live as far as crafting. We rode the train from Durango, Colorado up to Silverton. Oh my gosh, y'all, if you've never experienced that, we highly recommend it. We had such a blast. So much fun and just an absolutely beautiful, beautiful ride. The train is a narrow gauge railroad, and so it's only about 3 feet wide, the track. I'm gonna make a little bow. So I'm gonna start out with a pretty good sized bow, and I'm just gonna keep zhuzhing it till I get it where I want it, okay? It's gonna be kind of wonky looking at first. Trust the process. Just gonna keep working with it. But man, Colorado is just so lovely, and it was nice and cool. Although we did have a cool snap here at home too. We knew we needed a little break. We knew we needed to get away, but we didn't realize how much, I don't think, until we were actually up there relaxing and just having fun. If I'm ever rich, that will be where my second home is, y'all. It's just beautiful. Don't worry, you can come and visit. I would love to have you when I'm rich. Don't forget that part. Don't you like that? Okay, so you can see that's not a tiny little bow, but it's a fairly small bow considering how wide this ribbon is. And I just keep working with it till I get it how I want it. And I think we're pretty much there. Now I'm going to bring the tails down. And I'm just going to cut at an angle across both tails. And there's my little bow. And I think I've got all my gold edges kind of showing. Just took my time. That's a cute little bow, y'all. If you know, you know. We were told one time we made a tacky bow. It makes me and Dale laugh. That is not a tacky bow right here. This is a very adorable bow. Okay, we're going to set that aside for just a second because I kind of want to decide, do I want to kind of center up my sentiment? Do I want it? How do I want it? I think I want to kind of justify this side with the edge of my, oh, I don't know. I could just put a couple dimensionals right in the center. That might be the easiest thing to do. So let's do that. Get some dimensionals. Got them stuck to my fingers now. Put them in the center. We'll go ahead and pull those backings off. I think that other one came off already. It did. Now let's see if I can get this on there straight. I want it kind of down towards the bottom, because I want to put my bow up top. See if I can get it on there straight. Let me look at it upside down. That actually looks pretty good. Y'all may be saying, oops. Y'all may be saying, no. You have a little bit different vantage point than I do. But if, at any rate, I can fix it after the video if I am way off. But I think it's pretty good. Sometimes I second guess myself. Look how cute that is, y'all. Sometimes I second guess myself, and then when I get off, I realize, no, it wasn't too bad. So I need to quit messing with it, don't I? Just moved it again. Okay, I'm going to quit messing with it. If it's a little wonky, I'll fix it when the video is over. And I'll try to remember to post a picture of the card as well. We're going to have a reel that we'll post probably next week that will be a little bit different color combination. Same card layout, but using a different piece of the Designer Series paper. I'm going to put my pretty little bow right up there. I think that looks so cute. What do y'all think? Isn't that pretty? That ribbon is just phenomenal. And now let me bring those beautiful embellishments in. And I do believe we're going to go with some of these nice large red ones. These are so sparkly. Maybe a little bit close to the edge with that one. Bring it back on the card a little bit more. I probably have room down here for one. We may use 5 because why not? They're so pretty. Put one maybe right there. Pick up another one. Maybe put it over here. What do y'all think? I really like how that turned out. So, of course, you can use whatever products you have to make a flap card like this. It does look wonky to me. I'll work on it, though. You can use whatever products you have, just using those measurements. Remember, you can bring that flap to either end, center it up. I did not center mine up. I'm okay with that. But it's just a fun way to make a little bit different card, a nice fun fold card. Okay, let me move that out of the way because I do have lots of happy mail to share with you. You're in for a real treat because I've got some beautiful cards to share. This first one comes from my amazing friend Jen from Florida, and this is just the cutest card. She has taken and torn strips of the different colors of cardstock and then added the little googly eyes. Now, I will say, the mail machine did kind of smash those googly eyes, but I'll bring it a little closer so you can see. It just makes it a little bit spookier. I love this Halloween card so much. And I'll quickly show you the inside. She did stamp and stuff on the inside too. Is that not the cutest idea? Tearing that paper and inking the edge with the black. So stinking cute. I love this card. Thank you, Jen. It is just darling. And then I do have some birthday cards because I did have a birthday back in October. This first one is a little fun fold. It comes from my amazing friend Debbie. She's just so talented. Look how pretty that is. And it is just a little fun fold. Really, really pretty. Love this. Shiny, shiny embellishments too. Thank you, Debbie. And then, let me see. This next card comes from my amazing friend Trish, and it's got the beautiful fall colors on it. I love this paper so much. It's absolutely stunning, and I like how she used all the different patterns of the paper. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you, Trish. I love getting cards from you. I love getting cards, period. I'm out on the porch doing a happy dance. This birthday card is from my sweet friend Mary, and it is so, so pretty. Love the black and white, that little banner with the happy birthday. Isn't this a sweet card? I love this layout. When I get cards, I always examine them because I love to case the layouts of cards. Now, this one is not going to be a surprise to you who this one is from because it has the purple and everything in it. If you know Cheryl, it's a very Cheryl card. I'll put it that way because she loves purple and she knows I do too. So isn't this beautiful? Just phenomenal. Now, I may have shown you this before we went out of town, and I kind of think I did because I made a card that had circles that week, but it's worth seeing again. It's a really beautiful birthday card. Thanks, Cheryl. And then the last one that I have is from my BFF, LaDonna, and it is a super cute card. I don't know where this paper, if that's a Stampin' Up! Paper or not, doesn't really matter because it's absolutely beautiful. I love it so much. Lots of shiny embellishments. Y'all know me so well. I love the shiny. It's my favorite color. So I got some really lovely birthday cards, y'all. I will do my best to take pictures of these cards that I received and post them for Mailbox Monday, next Monday. I have not been good about doing that. I actually lost a couple of cards. I know they're here, and they're probably in a pack of DSP or cardstock or something. I know they're here, but Dale and I have searched high and low. We cannot find them, but I will find them and I'll post them too. But I like posting the cards that I receive in the mail and letting people see the beautiful work that you do. So if you send me a card, I really do try the following Monday after I show it on Facebook Live to give you a little shout out. Okay, I think that's it for today. I really appreciate you being here and hope to see you Friday night when we do our Finally Friday free online class. Remember, if you need any Stampin' Up! Products, you can hop over to my website at stampwithct.stampinup.net. Holler if you need any help. I know sometimes it can be a lot to take in, especially for a new stamper, but I have been doing this for, it'll be 13 years in February, so I would love to help guide you if you're wanting to pick out things and get started with this amazing hobby. All right, I'll talk to y'all again soon. Thank you.